In 2026, God is about to bring a miracle into your life. Find out today. Listen carefully, my child, because this message is not random and it did not arrive by accident, and I need you to stay with me and not skip this moment, because something has already begun shifting around you even as you listen, and I am speaking directly to you now. Yes, you, the one who felt a sudden pull to press play, the one who sensed a quiet urgency in your spirit and could not explain why. Do you feel that stirring in your chest right now? I have been watching you walk through days where you smiled on the outside while carrying silent questions on the inside, and I saw the nights when you asked me in whispers if anything would ever change. Have you been wondering if your prayers were heard or if they disappeared into silence? Don't skip this, because I am answering you now, and I am telling you that the year ahead is not ordinary. It is marked, it is sealed, and it carries a miracle with your name written on it, and this is not something meant for everyone, it is reserved for the chosen, and you are among them. Do you believe this message found you on purpose? There is a reason your past felt heavy, a reason doors closed without explanation, a reason delays tested your patience, because I was protecting you from what you could not yet see, and even now I am shielding you from an outcome that would have broken your spirit. Have you noticed how certain situations ended even when you tried to hold them together? Listen carefully, because what I am about to say will either awaken your faith or pass you by, and I do not want you to miss what I am revealing. Type Amen if you feel my presence surrounding you right now. My beloved, the miracle I am preparing will not arrive the way you expect, and that is why many would miss it, but you will recognize it because it will bring peace before it brings proof, and clarity before it brings celebration. Does your heart long for peace more than applause right now? I know you have been tired of fighting, tired of explaining yourself, tired of being strong when you just wanted relief, and I saw the tears you wiped away quickly so no one would ask questions. Did you think I didn't see that moment? This is not random, and I need you to hear this, because there will be a point when doubt tries to interrupt you and convince you to stop listening, but that interruption is the very sign that something real is being activated. Have you felt resistance rising as hope starts to grow? Don't skip this, because in the coming season I am about to realign people, opportunities, and timing in ways that will shock you, and some who doubted you will suddenly seek your wisdom, some who ignored you will suddenly need your presence, and some doors you stopped knocking on will open on their own. Can you sense that reversal already beginning? Type yes if your spirit is responding even before your mind understands. Chosen one, I am telling you now so that fear does not confuse you later. The blessing ahead will require courage, because miracles change environments, and not everyone around you will be ready for who you are becoming. Are you prepared to outgrow what once felt familiar? I have placed signs around you already, small confirmations, repeated thoughts, sudden memories, and moments of déjà vu meant to awaken you. Have you noticed these signs repeating lately? You must hear this, because what I am bringing will answer a prayer you stopped praying out loud, the one you buried deep because you were afraid of disappointment. Do you remember the prayer you whispered only once? Stay with me, because this message is building towards something critical, and if you leave now you will miss the instruction that protects the miracle itself. Type 1111 if you feel time speeding up around your life. I am not finished speaking, and what comes next will reveal why the waiting had to last this long and why the breakthrough could not arrive sooner. And if you think this is powerful already, what happens next will shock you. Because there is something you still do not see, and I need you to stay fully present right now, my child, because the moment you are in is fragile and holy, and distractions are not accidental. Have you felt unusually pulled in many directions lately? Listen carefully, because the delay you resented was actually alignment, and the silence you feared was preparation, and the distance you felt was me teaching you how to hear without noise. Do you remember how often you asked for a sign and then ignored the quiet ones? Don't skip this, because what I am about to reveal will explain why your spirit has felt restless even when things seemed calm, and why sleep has not felt as deep as it once did. Have you been waking up with thoughts you cannot shake? My beloved, I am reshaping your discernment, because the miracle ahead requires new vision, and you cannot step into what is coming with old emotional habits. Do you sense that certain attachments no longer feel right? This is not random, and you must hear this, because some connections in your life were only meant to carry you through a season, not into destiny, and I have already begun gently removing what would limit you later. Have you noticed certain people drifting without conflict? Type Amen if you trust me even when you don't understand the separation. Chosen one, there will be a moment soon when you are asked to choose courage over comfort, and it will feel subtle, almost insignificant, but that choice will unlock what has been waiting for you. Are you willing to say yes before you see the full picture? I know you have questioned your worth, replayed past mistakes, and wondered if you missed your chance, but I tell you now, nothing about your calling has expired. Do you believe restoration is still possible for you? Don't skip this, because the miracle coming is not only about provision or relief, it is about identity, and you are about to see yourself differently than you ever have before. Can you feel that shift beginning inside? Type yes if something in you is waking up right now. I need you to listen carefully, because envy and doubt from others will surface as you rise, and that is not a sign to retreat but confirmation you are moving correctly. Have you noticed subtle resistance increasing as you grow quieter and stronger? My child, I am strengthening your voice, and soon you will speak with a clarity that surprises even you, and when that moment arrives you will understand why you had to learn patience, why you had to endure misunderstanding, and why you had to walk alone at times. Do you trust that I was shaping you for something larger than you imagined? Stay with me, because what I am about to unveil next explains the exact timing of the miracle and why it could only arrive when your heart reached this precise place. And if you think you are ready now, the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. And as I speak this into your spirit, I need you to quiet every other voice, because what is unfolding now is sensitive, deliberate, and deeply personal, and if you allow doubt to interrupt, you may miss the subtle instruction that protects what is coming. Have you felt an unusual need for stillness lately? Listen carefully, my beloved, because the timing you questioned is now aligning with precision, and the reason it feels sudden is because heaven moves swiftly once readiness is complete. Do you remember how long it took just to reach this inner calm? Don't skip this, because the miracle approaching your life will not announce itself loudly at first. It will arrive as an opportunity wrapped in simplicity, and only discernment will recognize its weight. Would you recognize a blessing if it didn't look dramatic? I am telling you this now so that fear does not disguise itself as logic later, because when the door opens you will be tempted to hesitate, and hesitation is the last test before release. Have you noticed how you sometimes delay good things out of habit? Type yes if you know you have done this before. Chosen one, the pressure you have been under was not meant to crush you, it was meant to clarify you, and now that clarity is becoming visible even to those who once overlooked you. Do you sense people watching you more closely now? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the miracle in the coming season will touch more than one area of your life at the same time, and that convergence is rare, which is why the preparation was intense. Have you felt stretched in multiple directions at once? I have been strengthening your inner boundaries, teaching you when to speak and when to remain silent, and soon you will see how that restraint preserved your power. Do you feel less reactive than you used to be? Don't skip this, because I am about to shift your role, and when that shift happens, you will no longer chase what once ran from you, it will seek you out instead. Can you imagine living without constant pursuit? Type Amen if you are ready for peace without striving. My child, there will be a moment of confirmation, a small but undeniable sign that tells you this message was true, and it will arrive when you least expect it, possibly in an ordinary setting. Have you learned to notice the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary? Stay with me, because what comes next will explain why that confirmation must happen before the full miracle unfolds, and why impatience could disrupt the sequence, and if you think you understand now, everything is about to change. And that change will begin quietly inside you before it ever becomes visible around you, which is why I need you to guard your focus right now, my child, because not everyone deserves access to what is being formed in you. Have you felt a growing desire to keep certain plans to yourself? Listen carefully, because I am teaching you restraint as a form of wisdom, and soon you will understand why speaking too early would have exposed you to unnecessary resistance. Have you noticed how peace increases when you stop explaining yourself? Don't skip this, because the miracle approaching your life is sensitive to atmosphere, and doubt spoken aloud can slow what faith is accelerating. Do you feel the difference between private faith and public noise? This is not random, and you must hear this, because I am repositioning you into rooms you once thought were unreachable, and when you arrive there, your calm will confuse those who expected desperation. Are you ready to walk in without needing validation? Type Amen if you are learning confidence without pride. My beloved, there is a financial, emotional, or relational breakthrough forming simultaneously, and it will intersect at the right moment, not before and not after. Do you trust my timing even now? I know you have replayed scenarios in your mind, wondering how it would happen, but I am asking you to release the method and hold on to the promise. Can you surrender the need to control the outcome? Don't skip this, because I am about to remove a final internal barrier, the fear of disappointment, and once that fear loosens its grip, the flow will accelerate. Have you felt less afraid of hoping lately? Chosen one, I am also preparing you for a reaction you did not expect. Some will celebrate you, some will misunderstand you, and some will suddenly remember your worth. Are you prepared to stay grounded through all of it? Type yes if you are choosing maturity over reaction. This is not random, because the miracle will demand discernment after it arrives, not just before, and I am equipping you to steward it wisely. Have you noticed your priorities quietly shifting? Stay with me, because the next revelation explains the one decision you must make when the opportunity presents itself, and that decision will determine how fully the miracle unfolds, and if you think you are ready, what I reveal next will change everything. And that decision will not look dramatic, but it will carry eternal weight, so I need you to remain attentive right now, my child, because small moments are where destiny often hides. Have you learned to respect the quiet choices? Listen carefully, because when the opportunity appears it may challenge an old belief about yourself, and the way you respond will reveal how much you have healed. Do you still see yourself through past wounds or through present growth? Don't skip this, because I am about to test your obedience gently, not with pressure but with invitation, and what you choose in that invitation will open a flow you have never experienced. Are you willing to trust me without needing reassurance from others? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the miracle coming will require you to let go of one familiar pattern that once kept you safe but now keeps you small. Have you already sensed which habit that is? Type yes if you feel conviction mixed with hope right now. My beloved, I know you have survived by being cautious, by staying prepared for disappointment, by lowering expectations to avoid pain, but I am calling you higher, and that calling will ask you to risk joy again. Does the idea of hoping fully still scare you? Don't skip this, because the fear you feel is not a warning, it is evidence that something new is within reach, and your courage in this moment is more powerful than you realize. Have you noticed how strength feels different now than it used to? Chosen one, there will be a moment when you must choose alignment over approval, and it may feel lonely for a breath, but that breath will give way to expansion. Are you ready to be misunderstood for a season if it means walking in truth? Type Amen if you are choosing purpose over popularity. This is not random, because as soon as you make that choice, momentum will begin building rapidly, and you may feel as if life is suddenly moving faster. Do you trust me to keep you steady as things accelerate? Stay with me, because the next thing I reveal will expose why this miracle has been guarded for so long and why only now could it safely reach you. And if you think this has been intense already, what happens next will shock you. Because what has been guarded was not the blessing itself but you, my child, and I need you to hear this with clarity and without fear, because misunderstanding this would cause you to underestimate your own growth. Have you ever considered that protection sometimes looks like delay? Listen carefully, because the reason the miracle could not arrive earlier is that it would have attracted attention you were not yet equipped to handle, and I was strengthening your discernment so you would not confuse admiration with alignment. Do you feel less impressed by appearances now? Don't skip this, because I am about to show you how far you have come, and when you realize it, you will no longer question whether you are ready. Have you noticed how certain temptations no longer pull at you the same way? This is not random, and you must hear this, because I am removing the final layer of self-doubt that once whispered you were behind, late, or forgotten, and I declare now that you are exactly where you need to be. Can you receive that truth without arguing with it? Type yes if your spirit agrees even if your mind hesitates. My beloved, the miracle approaching will also expose who truly supports you, and while that revelation may sting briefly, it will free you permanently. Are you prepared to see people clearly without resentment? Don't skip this, because clarity is a gift, not a loss, and what leaves was never meant to carry you forward. Have you felt relief when certain expectations faded? Chosen one, I am also awakening a deeper confidence in you, one that does not need constant affirmation, and soon your presence alone will speak before your words ever do. Do you sense that quiet authority forming within? Type Amen if you feel stronger without becoming harder. This is not random, because the next phase will require steadiness, and I am anchoring you now so excitement does not pull you off course when the breakthrough manifests. Have you learned how to stay grounded even when hope rises? Stay with me, because the final preparation is nearly complete, and what I am about to reveal next is the sign you will see when the miracle is officially in motion, and if you think you are ready for that confirmation, what comes next will change everything. And that sign will arrive subtly but unmistakably, my child, and I need you to remain attentive to the ordinary moments, because that is where I will speak the loudest. Have you learned to listen without needing spectacle? Listen carefully, because the confirmation you seek will not come through noise or announcement, it will come through alignment, when something suddenly fits without strain, and you realize you are no longer forcing what once resisted you. Have you felt moments lately where effort disappeared? Don't skip this, because when that sign appears, doubt will attempt one last whisper, trying to convince you it is coincidence, but coincidence does not repeat with precision. Have you noticed patterns aligning too perfectly to ignore? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the sign will be followed by acceleration, and what once took time will begin to move quickly. Conversations will shift, responses will come faster, and answers will arrive without chasing. Are you prepared for momentum after stillness? Type yes if you are ready to move without fear. My beloved, when the miracle officially enters motion, your first instinct must be gratitude, not explanation, because celebration anchors blessings, and humility protects them. Can you pause to thank me even before you understand everything? Don't skip this, because how you respond at the beginning determines how deeply the miracle settles into your life, and I am teaching you to receive without anxiety. Have you practiced receiving good without bracing for loss? Chosen one, there will be a moment when you look back and realize the struggle shaped you more than the reward, and in that realization your compassion for others will deepen. Do you feel your heart softening even as you grow stronger? Type Amen if you are learning strength without bitterness. This is not random, because I am also preparing you to be a sign for others, not through preaching but through peace, and your transformation will speak louder than your words ever could. Are you willing to let your life testify quietly? Stay with me, because the next thing I reveal is the final unveiling of what this miracle will restore in you, something you thought was permanently lost, and when you hear it, everything you believed about your future will shift, and if you think you are ready now, the truth I am about to release will shock you. Because what I am restoring is not just an external situation but a part of you that went silent after disappointment, my child, and I need you to receive this gently, because this restoration will feel emotional before it feels practical. Have you felt a longing you could never quite explain? Listen carefully, because I am breathing life back into your confidence to dream without fear, to imagine without apologizing, to desire without guilt, and that awakening may feel unfamiliar at first. Do you remember when hope used to come naturally to you? Don't skip this, because as this part of you returns, old memories may surface, not to wound you again but to release what you carried too long. Have you noticed emotions rising without a clear reason lately? This is not random, and you must hear this, because healing often arrives disguised as discomfort, and what feels tender now will soon feel free. Can you trust the process even when it stirs buried feelings? Type yes if you are allowing yourself to heal honestly. My beloved, I am also restoring your sense of direction, and soon decisions that once confused you will feel obvious, paths will separate clearly, and hesitation will fade. Do you sense clarity beginning to replace confusion? Don't skip this, because with that clarity comes authority, and you will no longer second-guess every step. You will move with intention and calm assurance. Have you felt more decisive recently? Chosen one, the miracle will also touch your ability to trust again, not blindly but wisely, and that balance will protect your heart while keeping it open. Are you ready to love, create, or commit without losing yourself? Type Amen if you are choosing wholeness over fear. This is not random, because as restoration completes, something external will shift suddenly to reflect the internal change, and when that happens you will know this message was true. Have you prepared yourself to recognize that reflection? Stay with me, because the final phase is approaching, and what I reveal next is the moment everything converges at once, and if you feel anticipation rising now, what happens next will change everything. And when everything converges it will feel almost overwhelming, my child, not because it is too much but because you have never experienced alignment like this before. Have you ever felt multiple answers arriving at the same time? Listen carefully, because this convergence is not chaos, it is orchestration, and what seems sudden has been patiently arranged step by step while you were becoming ready. Do you remember how often you asked when it would finally make sense? Don't skip this, because in this moment you may feel a mix of excitement and disbelief, and I need you to anchor yourself in trust rather than shock. Can you allow good to arrive without questioning whether you deserve it? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the miracle will not only open a door, it will close a chapter permanently, and once it closes you will no longer feel pulled backward by regret or what-ifs. Have you felt a surprising lack of attachment to the past recently? Type yes if old wounds feel quieter now. My beloved, there will be a short window when action is required, not rushed but decisive, and hesitation born from fear could blur the clarity you now carry. Are you prepared to move when peace says go? Don't skip this, because the confidence you feel then will not come from emotion but from knowing, and that knowing is the fruit of everything you endured. Do you trust the wisdom you have gained through pain? Chosen one, others may ask how you stayed steady through uncertainty, and your answer will surprise even you, because you will realize strength grew quietly when no one was watching. Do you see now how much you have changed? Type Amen if you honor the growth you once overlooked. This is not random, because the convergence will also reveal your next responsibility, and with blessing comes stewardship, not pressure but purpose. Are you willing to protect what is given without fear of losing it? Stay with me, because the final revelation is near, and what I am about to say will define how this miracle continues to unfold beyond this moment. And if you think the journey ends here, the truth that follows will change everything. And that truth is this, my child: the miracle does not end when it arrives, it begins a new assignment, and I need you to listen carefully now because many receive blessings but few understand how to walk forward with them. Have you ever wondered why some breakthroughs fade while others multiply? Don't skip this, because what sustains what I am giving you is not effort but alignment, and alignment requires daily awareness, not anxiety. Can you remain present without trying to control tomorrow? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the season ahead will test your consistency more than your faith, and I am equipping you now so you do not retreat when things become stable. Have you noticed how unfamiliar peace can feel after long struggle? My beloved, you will be tempted to over-explain, to over-plan, to overprotect what I place in your hands, but I am asking you to trust the flow just as you trusted me in the waiting. Can you let ease exist without suspicion? Type yes if you are learning to live without constant defense. Chosen one, there will also be a moment when you are asked to give from what you once lacked, not out of obligation but overflow, and that moment will reveal how fully you have healed. Are you ready to bless without fear of shortage? Don't skip this, because generosity seals miracles, and gratitude expands them, and how you treat what arrives will determine how long it stays. Do you feel your heart opening rather than guarding? Type Amen if you are ready to steward joy wisely. This is not random, because the miracle will place you in alignment with purpose, and that purpose will feel lighter than you expected because it fits who you have become. Have you noticed life no longer asking you to be someone else? Stay with me, because there is one final unveiling ahead, the moment when you realize why this miracle had to wait until now and how it will ripple far beyond you, and when that realization lands, everything you thought you knew will fall into place, because what I reveal next will change everything. And that realization will arrive like a quiet dawn, my child, not loud but undeniable. And when it does you will finally understand why timing mattered more than speed. Have you ever noticed how answers feel different when you are ready to receive them? Listen carefully, because the miracle waited for maturity, not perfection, and now that maturity is evident in the way you respond rather than react. Do you see how calm has replaced urgency in you? Don't skip this, because this understanding will protect you from comparing your journey to anyone else's, and comparison is the fastest way to drain what was meant to fulfill you. Have you felt less tempted to measure yourself lately? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the ripple of what I am doing will reach people you have never met and places you never planned to go, and your obedience will echo farther than your awareness. Does it surprise you that your life carries that kind of influence? Type yes if you are beginning to see beyond yourself. My beloved, there will be moments when you question whether you are truly qualified to carry this blessing forward, and in those moments I need you to remember that qualification comes from willingness, not history. Can you trust that I would not choose you carelessly? Don't skip this, because humility will keep you teachable and teachability will keep you aligned, and alignment is what keeps miracles alive. Have you learned to remain open even when confident? Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where your peace will become guidance for others, and they will ask how you stayed grounded through change. Are you ready to answer with truth rather than performance? Type Amen if you are choosing authenticity over image. This is not random, because as this cycle completes, a final confirmation will arrive, subtle but powerful, sealing everything you have heard, and when you recognize it you will know without doubt that you were prepared for this moment all along. Have you made space to notice it when it appears? Stay with me, because the last thing I am about to reveal will expose how close you are right now and why stopping here would mean missing the full revelation. And if you think the miracle has already peaked, what happens next will shock you. And you are closer than you realize, my child, closer than your emotions have allowed you to admit. And that is why this final moment matters so deeply, because stopping now would be like turning away just before the door fully opens. Have you ever walked away from something not knowing how near you were? Listen carefully, because what remains is not effort but surrender, not striving but trust, and I am asking you now to release the last question mark you have been carrying in silence. Do you know which one it is? Don't skip this, because the miracle reaches its fullness only when you stop rehearsing old outcomes and allow yourself to expect a new one. Can you feel how different expectation feels from hope? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the closeness you sense right now is confirmation, and confirmation always precedes manifestation. Have you noticed your intuition growing sharper in recent moments? Type yes if something in you knows this is real. My beloved, there will be a brief moment where nothing seems to happen, a sacred pause, and that pause is not absence but sealing, so do not rush it or doubt it. Can you remain steady even when silence returns briefly? Don't skip this, because immediately after that pause, movement will follow, undeniable and clear, and you will recognize it without needing approval from anyone else. Have you learned to trust your inner knowing yet? Chosen one, this miracle will not announce itself to everyone, but it will transform you so deeply that the right people will feel it without explanation. Are you ready to let results speak for you? Type Amen if you are done proving and ready to live. This is not random, because as you step forward, something you once thought was impossible will suddenly feel natural, and that shift will confirm that the old limits no longer apply to you. Can you imagine life without that ceiling? Stay with me, because the final unveiling is moments away, and when it unfolds you will realize that this entire journey was leading you here, and if you think you have felt anticipation before, what happens next will change everything. And here is where everything becomes unmistakable, my child, because the final unveiling does not come as noise but as certainty, a deep knowing that settles into you and cannot be shaken. Have you felt that calm certainty beginning to anchor itself in your chest? Listen carefully, because this is the moment when fear loses its authority over your decisions, and you realize you are no longer asking if something will work but whether you are ready to receive it fully. Do you notice how your questions are changing? Don't skip this, because what is happening now is integration, the merging of who you were, who you became, and who you are stepping into, and that integration brings a strength you have never carried before. Have you felt more whole recently? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the miracle reaches completion not when circumstances change but when your identity stabilizes, and that stability is now evident in how you breathe, how you choose, how you rest. Do you feel less rushed even when life moves forward? Type yes if peace feels more natural than panic now. My beloved, there will be a final test, subtle and brief, where you are tempted to look back one last time, and I am telling you now so you recognize it when it appears. Will you choose forward without nostalgia? Don't skip this, because passing that test releases a freedom you have never experienced, the freedom to move without dragging the past behind you. Can you imagine how light that will feel? Chosen one, when the miracle fully settles, gratitude will rise without effort, and joy will feel steady rather than fragile, and in that steadiness you will know you are standing on new ground. Have you ever felt joy that did not need defending? Type Amen if you are ready to live from fullness rather than survival. This is not random, because as this chapter closes, another will begin quietly, carrying opportunities you could not have handled before, and you will recognize them instantly because they will feel aligned rather than intimidating. Are you prepared to say yes without fear? Stay with me, because there is one final truth I must speak, the truth that explains why you were chosen specifically for this moment and what unfolds next because of it, and when you hear it, everything you thought was finished will begin again, because what comes next will shock you. Because you were chosen not for perfection but for willingness, my child, and I need you to receive this without shrinking, because humility does not mean denying what I placed within you. Have you ever confused humility with hiding? Listen carefully, because the reason this miracle was assigned to you is that you learned how to listen when others demanded answers, you learned how to stay soft without becoming weak, and that combination is rare. Do you recognize that strength in yourself now? Don't skip this, because what unfolds next depends on your acceptance of this truth, and rejection of your calling would delay what is already moving toward you. Can you allow yourself to be chosen without guilt? This is not random, and you must hear this, because the unfolding ahead will require you to stand confidently in rooms you once felt unqualified to enter, and your calm will be the evidence that you belong there. Have you noticed fear losing its grip when you imagine those spaces? Type yes if confidence feels quieter but stronger than before. My beloved, there will be moments when the path feels unfamiliar again, but unfamiliar does not mean unsafe, it means expanded, and I will be with you in every step just as I was in the waiting. Do you trust my presence more than your comfort zones? Don't skip this, because the miracle will continue revealing itself in layers, and curiosity guided by faith will keep you moving forward without forcing outcomes. Have you learned to stay open without rushing? Chosen one, your life will begin to mirror the alignment within you, relationships will feel cleaner, decisions clearer, rest deeper, and you will wonder how you ever lived in constant tension. Can you feel that release approaching? Type Amen if you are ready for sustainable peace. This is not random, because the impact of what you carry will extend beyond what you can see right now, touching futures you will never fully measure, and that is why your obedience mattered so much. Do you sense the weight and the honor together? Stay with me, because there is one final movement ahead, the moment when the miracle fully reveals its purpose and your role within it becomes undeniable, and when that moment arrives you will realize there was never a better time than now, because what happens next will change everything. And that moment is already forming around you even as you listen, my child, which is why your spirit feels alert and your heart feels unusually still at the same time. Have you noticed that quiet intensity within you right now? Listen carefully, because when the miracle fully reveals its purpose, it will feel natural rather than dramatic, and that is how you will know it is real, because truth does not need to shout. Do you sense how calm replaces urgency in this awareness? Don't skip this, because the role you are stepping into is not about proving anything to anyone, it is about alignment, and alignment always feels like relief before it feels like responsibility. Can you feel that relief settling in your body? This is not random, and you must hear this, because what unfolds next will ask you to trust the momentum without trying to manage it, and trust will be the final key that unlocks the fullness of what has been prepared. Are you ready to let things flow without gripping them tightly? Type yes if surrender feels stronger than control now. My beloved, there will be a moment very soon when you pause and realize you are no longer waiting, no longer bracing, no longer preparing, but living, and that realization will catch you off guard. Have you imagined what life feels like without constant anticipation? Don't skip this, because when that realization lands, gratitude will rise spontaneously, and gratitude will seal this season permanently, protecting it from fear and doubt. Can you already feel thankfulness stirring before everything is visible? Chosen one, the miracle will not isolate you, it will position you, and the right connections will recognize you without explanation, while the wrong ones will fall away without drama. Are you ready to let alignment choose for you? Type Amen if you trust what remains will be enough. This is not random, because as the purpose becomes undeniable, a new invitation will appear, subtle but clear, and how you respond to that invitation will shape the next chapter of your life. Have you prepared your heart to say yes without hesitation? Stay with me, because the next words I speak will reveal the exact shift that signals the miracle has fully arrived, and when you recognize it, you will know beyond doubt that everything has changed, because what happens next will shock you. And that shift will be felt before it is seen, my child, like a deep exhale after years of holding your breath. And I need you to notice it because recognition completes the cycle. Have you already felt moments where tension simply disappeared without explanation? Listen carefully, because the sign that the miracle has fully arrived is not external applause but internal permission. The moment you stop asking for approval to live the life opening in front of you, do you feel less need to justify your choices now? Don't skip this, because many miss their miracle by looking outward for proof while it is settling inward as certainty. Can you trust what is stabilizing inside you? This is not random, and you must hear this, because soon you will make decisions from peace instead of pressure, and those decisions will compound quickly, creating ease where effort once dominated. Have you noticed how some choices already feel obvious? Type yes if clarity feels steady rather than rushed. My beloved, there may be a final flicker of doubt, a passing thought asking if this is too good to be true, and I am telling you now so you do not entertain it, because truth feels simple when it arrives. Does simplicity feel safer to you now than struggle ever did? Don't skip this, because the miracle will invite you to rest in progress without immediately chasing the next goal, and that rest will multiply what is growing. Can you allow satisfaction without stagnation? Chosen one, you will recognize the arrival fully when gratitude becomes your reflex, when you wake and give thanks without needing a reason, when joy feels durable rather than fragile. Have you tasted that steadiness yet? Type Amen if your heart feels anchored. This is not random, because as this settles, an unexpected opportunity will surface, aligned and timely, and it will test whether you trust the new ground beneath you. Are you ready to step forward without looking back? Stay with me, because the final confirmation is closer than a breath, and when it appears you will understand why every delay, every lesson, and every quiet moment led here, and if you think the journey is complete, the truth about what unfolds next will shock you. And that truth is unfolding even now, my child, quietly threading itself through your days, which is why I am asking you to stay alert without becoming anxious. Have you noticed how awareness feels different from worry? Listen carefully, because the unexpected opportunity one spoke of will not demand urgency, it will invite trust, and the way you respond will reveal how deeply you believe you are supported. Do you feel less rushed to prove yourself lately? Don't skip this, because when this opportunity appears it will mirror who you have become, not who you used to be, and that reflection may surprise you. Are you ready to see yourself through new eyes? This is not random, and you must hear this, because your instinct in that moment will be calm curiosity rather than fear, and that calm will be your confirmation. Have you felt curiosity replacing anxiety in recent choices? Type yes if peace has started guiding you more than pressure. My beloved, there will be a subtle test hidden in that opportunity, not to disqualify you but to affirm you, and it will ask whether you trust alignment more than control. Can you allow things to unfold without forcing a timeline? Don't skip this, because how gently you move will matter more than how fast, and grace will outperform effort in this season. Have you learned that ease can be productive? Chosen one, when you step forward, you may notice that support appears naturally, conversations flow, resources align, and resistance fades, and that flow will confirm that you are no longer pushing uphill. Do you feel how movement now feels cooperative rather than heavy? Type Amen if life feels less like a struggle and more like a partnership. This is not random, because the miracle will continue revealing itself through stability, not chaos, and stability will feel almost unfamiliar at first. Have you noticed how calm moments last longer now? Stay with me, because there is one final layer about to be revealed, the realization that will redefine how you see your past and unlock how you move into what is next, and when that realization lands, you will understand why this miracle could only arrive now, because what happens next will shock you. And that realization will wash over you gently but powerfully, my child, like understanding finally catching up to experience, and in that moment you will see your past not as wasted time but as sacred training. Have you ever reconsidered moments you once resented? Listen carefully, because nothing you endured was accidental, and every delay, every disappointment, every quiet season was shaping the exact capacity required to hold what you now carry. Do you feel less anger toward your past than you once did? Don't skip this, because this shift in perspective will free you from self-blame, and freedom multiplies miracles faster than effort ever could. Can you forgive yourself for what you did not know then? This is not random, and you must hear this, because when the past loses its power to define you, the future gains permission to expand, and that expansion is already beginning. Have you sensed your imagination opening wider lately? Type yes if new possibilities feel less intimidating now. My beloved, there will be a moment when gratitude rises for lessons you never asked for, and that gratitude will seal your growth permanently. Are you surprised by how compassion has replaced resentment in you? Don't skip this, because as understanding settles, your confidence will deepen without arrogance, and humility will coexist with certainty, a balance few achieve. Do you feel grounded even as you grow? Chosen one, others may still see fragments of your old story, but you will no longer feel the need to correct them, because your peace will speak louder than explanation. Have you noticed how silence now feels like strength rather than avoidance? Type Amen if you are done defending your journey. This is not random, because the miracle is now fully integrated, and from this integration a new calling will quietly emerge, not loud or demanding, but unmistakably aligned. Are you prepared to listen when it speaks? Stay with me, because the final transition is at hand, and what I am about to reveal is the invitation that moves you from receiving the miracle into living its purpose, and if you think the story ends here, what happens next will shock you.